And if there's one thing that I want to see come out of all of this, is Drake actually respond to Kendrick. Hey, yo. Folks, yesterday was a really good day for those who love the culture of hip hop. So I was minding my business yesterday when my friend and fellow creator Autumn, shout out to you Autumn, lobbed a Twitter link in our group chat. It was this tweet right here about a diss track by Drake that seemingly leaked online. Which is actually funny because if anything, this is the Drake leak that I was happy to hit the internet and not ones like the last one. So I listened to it and I thought it was heat. But I still had that question, is this actually Drake or is this AI? And I kept listening to it over and over and over again because artificial intelligence is not that good. I don't care what anybody says. Then a couple of hours later, another version of this song hit the internet. Different beat, same lyrics, but slight changes in delivery. So at that point, it had to be real. There's no way it was artificial intelligence. Well, seeing how Drake practically confirmed it on his Instagram story, it's real. So let's talk about this. And I'm glad this track dropped because I was sick of the Instagram story posts. Let me start off by reiterating what I said in my J. Cole video. I'm a fan of J. Cole, I'm a fan of Drake, I'm a fan of Kendrick, and I love them all differently but equally. Just so you know that there's no bias. That being said, this Drake was spitting. I don't even know what angle to come at this with. Because you see the caption, he wasn't just going at Kendrick, he was going at Future, he was going at Rick Ross, he was going at Weeknd, he was going at Metro. Although it's kind of interesting that he didn't respond to Rocky, who also went at him recently. Matter of fact, he didn't even respond to Meg, who went at him
in January.
On this track, Drake was evoking the spirits of 50 Cent, the way he was going at everybody, of Tupac, the way he was going at everybody, of LL Cool J, the way he was going at everybody. Like, I know in one of his aforementioned Instagram story posts, he sort of alluded to him evoking the spirit of one Vybz Kartel, but no, he evoked the spirit of one Rodney Price, aka Bounty Killer, the way he was going at everybody. Yo, Drake really said,
"While I'm your business, everybody dead. Me try to hold the peace and while busting on me head. Me just try to robot from head down to Z."
Let me point out a few moments that actually made this diss track incredible. I forgot who the creator was who said this, and you can tag her in the comments below if you know who it was, but she said in a video that the hallmark of a great diss track is facts. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time or some of the time, it does help to have facts in your diss track against somebody. Perhaps the best thing that Drake does on this diss track is talk about
Kendrick's
deal with TDE, and he does so very cleverly. Like, sure, dropping Gimme 50 may sound like a basic line to some folks, but it's clever in the ways that it illustrates the dynamic between Kendrick and Top Dawg being like that of a drill sergeant to a Marine, in the same ways that a drill sergeant would tell a Marine to drop and give him 50 push-ups. Top Dawg was apparently telling Kendrick to drop music and give him 50% of his royalties. That is a much better angle than the angle that Cole tried to get at Kendrick from, because there might be some truth to that. And he supports this supposed truth by using evidence of Kendrick doing things that may have been out of contractual obligation. The Taylor Swift verse, the Maroon 5 verse. He even directly responds to Kendrick's line on Like That, where he says Prince outlived Mike Jack, because essentially Drake and Kendrick are hip-hop's modern day Michael Jackson and Prince. One has all the hits, sold more records, has all the awards, and is revered as the greatest pop star of all time, while the other one is revered as more of an artist than a star or entertainer. And how does Drake respond to this line? What's a prince to a king, the king of pop? You a son. One step below on the monarchy.
And it also just hit me that one of Michael Jackson's son's name is Prince, so add that as a triple entendre.
Whether you agree with that sentiment is up to you, but what I'm saying is Drake felt this way, so he let it be known. Drake is absolutely at a position where he could just talk his which is why he felt comfortable to look at Future and be like, yo, the nerve of a man to say that I'm your #1 fan when I gave you your first #1. And guess what? The facts support that too, which is why he felt comfortable to look at Metro and be like, yo, stay in your lane. Nice your beak. Stick to the beat machine, which is why he felt it was necessary to look at Rick Ross in his face and be like, yo, you need to worry about what's going on with you and Sean Combs first before you can come chat to me. Which is why he felt it was necessary to look at The Weeknd in his face and say, yo, your manager was our lackey, was mishandling funds, and you got rich, run left the city, and never been back since. And that could very well potentially be facts. And the reason why Drake has all grounds to say those things about The Weeknd is because Drake still has his big house renting in Toronto that he calls the embassy that he actively stays in. And I'm from the dot. I'm from Toronto, so I want my fellow Torontonians to actually correct me on this if I'm wrong. But I seem to notice that the only time that The Weeknd is ever back in the city is if he's doing a show. Listen, regardless of what you think of Drake's response, whether you think it was trash, which I have no idea how the you would think that, this little back and forth between Drake and Kendrick and Drake and everybody else is exactly what hip hop needs. Because it seems to me that people seem to either forgotten or just don't know that hip hop was birthed out of and built on competition. So when I see two MCs who understand the culture of hip hop and understand that hip hop is a sport, much like basketball, much like football, much like wrestling, I guess, I applaud it because competition brings out the best in people. Yes, rap beef can be corny. Yes, rap beef can be dangerous. But if you have two MCs that understand that a little lyrical back and forth does not have to escalate beyond that point, it's a beautiful thing to watch. We get better music because of it, and the artists get better because of it. And now, the ball is in Kendrick's court. And I can't wait to hear how Kendrick is going to respond to Drake.